The mindset that every single man must embrace in order to become dangerous. I've spent the last 30 plus years training individuals, whether they were corporate, high-level CEOs, special forces individuals globally, how to master mental toughness from the boardroom to the street to the combative field, and how to utilize these principles quickly. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my 5-step process to overcome limiting beliefs and self-doubt, how to have unwavering confidence, and how to have mental dominance. No fluff, just the exact steps that we've used to help individuals go from being average to unstoppable. Number 1, admit that you don't know. The real mark of a strong man isn't him hiding behind things and pretending he knows everything. It's admitting when he doesn't know, which frees him up to actually go get the knowledge that he needs. And it allows him to apply it under pressure. See, once you learn, then you can actually apply it in real time, and you can function with a pressurized environment to see how you yourself use it. So if it breaks under those confines, under that container, then you can actually go, oh, I need to apply it a little differently for me. But that doesn't happen if you aren't willing to admit it to yourself. True men who call themselves alpha men, they don't stay stuck. They don't sit there and have those limiting beliefs and hold on to them. They admit that they're weak so that they can get stronger. Weakness in admitting that you're weak actually is a strength. It's the guys that want to posture. They want to pretend that they're tough. They're like, oh, I'm strong and I got everything and I got my black belt and I got... Those guys are full of shit, and those are the guys that get broken because they only train what they're good at. They only do what they know. The problem with that is you don't know what you don't know. And when that comes forward and it tests you in real time, you better pray and hope to God you're not in a situation where it costs you your life or the safety and well-being of your family. See, when I admit that I don't know, then I can take time to lean in, I can leverage, I can level up, and then I can go test it before I need it, and then I can apply it when the times are real. Number 2, embrace failures and risks. Look, guys, the only ones that really win are the ones that are willing to lose it all. I remember in the underground fights, I go in there and I knew I had the guy. The moment he would tell me, you know, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna execute, and I'm gonna see if I can actually not get hurt. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna dominate this dude. And I'll tell you why. Because I had so much anger at the time and so much pain in my heart, I was willing to fucking kill myself in order to beat them. So who do you think has more risk involved? Like, I was willing to let go of more. He played the game safe. You win by being willing to go all in, and you let go of all risks, right? You can't lose if there is nothing to lose. The samurai used to go into it with a mind of like they're already dead. Christians do the same thing. If you're already dead, how can they kill you? So you have superhuman strength, superhuman logic, and superhuman power when you enter into something with a mind that you are no longer willing to allow risks and the fear of failure to control you. Now, some people go, yeah, but if I fail, won't that damage my reputation? If I lose, won't it show people that I'm not enough? Look, if you are not failing on a regular basis, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. The reality is if you keep winning or you're selling a program and everyone's buying it, your price is too low. You need to go higher. You need to actually push yourself more so that you can get to the next level. If you're not experiencing heartbreak, you're not going all in. So if you're like, yeah, I was able to walk away from that relationship, good for you, you fucking loser. What happened there was you didn't go all in, which is why that relationship ended. Relationships last because they're painful. That is what gives you the conviction to actually stay in it. And if you're willing to walk away just because you don't care or make some excuse so you can run, you're not playing all out, dude. That's how you actually win in life, is you play all out. There's so many people that sit down, they go, Michael, how have you achieved so much? How'd you go from being homeless to where you are now? I play all out. Yeah, but you could lose everything. It's not mine anyway. It all belongs to God. So I'm not losing anything. All of this belongs to Him so I can give back and glorify His name and do what I was called on this earth to do. So if I'm afraid to lose it, well, then I already lost. And I'm thinking that something's mine that doesn't belong to me. Number 3, use gratitude as fuel. A lot of people think that if they tell you thank you, or if they are grateful for something, that either 1, it shows that they're weak, or B, you're gonna stop trying. And we do this with ourselves. We sit down and go, you know, gratitude is soft. If I get grateful, then I'm gonna stop putting out the effort. Not so. What happens is when you get grateful, you get creative and you start actually seeing things. Again, remember how we talked before about the reticular activating system? When you start seeing all the blessings in your life, you will actually train your mind to look for more of them. And when you look for more of them, opportunities pop up. So now instead of sitting down going, oh, here's all the things going wrong, and you're living in a place where everything is crumbling all the time, and you're concerned about finances and you're concerned about threats. And guys, look, I'm telling you because I've done it and I've been there. Recently, the Lord has made a massive shift inside of my mind to start going, that makes sense, right? So that's why I'm teaching it to you guys, so that we can sit down and go, man, where are the good stuff? because now I can start training my eye to see it, to catch it, and I can conquer anything in my way. Why? Because I have fuel. When I'm thinking of the negative all the time, it drains your energy. When I start looking at what I'm grateful for and I'm so blessed, I don't have room to look for what's negative. Energy is constant. It can't be destroyed or created. So what you have to do is you got to pull the negative stuff out of your life in order to make room for the good stuff in your life. And the only way that's going to happen is if you start paying attention to what's good. Then your brain and your mind can start pulling in more good energy towards you, and you start getting in alignment with your mission and your purpose instead of being in contradiction with it, instead of being in conflict with it. There's blessings on this earth. They're all around you. Align yourself with them. Just because somebody starts tearing you down and you start building in and you become super self-conscious, maybe you need to get that fucking person out of your life, because if they keep tearing you down. I had a friend of mine. She's such an amazing person. To be totally transparent, I dated her years ago, and we were together for probably 4 or 5 years, and now we're actually really good friends. And she was like, dude, you're such an amazing human being. She's like, anybody that can't see that, they can't catch inside of the reality of who you are. Like, you're giving, you're considerate, you're caring. And I was like, you know, there's parts of that we start to forget as men when other people around us start to pull us down or try to tear us down or tell us all the wrong things about us. The reality is you're a good human being, dude. Walk in that, breathe that. And anybody that tells you something different, you need to start creating space from that person and pushing them away so that you can actually lean into your power that God gave you. And the more you do that, the more power you'll actually have in life. And that's part of your gratitude. You start leaning into that gratitude, because now you start looking at it going, you know what, dude, my life is actually pretty freaking amazing. And the only thing that's unamazing in my life is somebody or something that tries to make me think it's not. And it's not that that person's a bad person. They could switch that and they could come back into your life down the road, right? But what you have to do is you got to learn how to see what is such a blessing around you, because when you're not, you're doing something else too. You're pushing away blessings and you're telling God, you know what, I don't appreciate what you've given me. And you don't want to do that, because then people who aren't grateful, what do you do with them? You stop giving them stuff because they're not grateful. You start holding back. You start not showing them everything that's inside of your basket, because you're like, I think they're just using me for what's in my basket, right? And we've got to actually be grateful. Show the people around you that give you wealth and they give you blessings in your life and kindness. Tell them. Say thank you. There's nothing weak about that. It's a gift. Number 4, crush complacency. We will get to a point where we start going, yeah, but I'm afraid I'll burn out if I keep pushing all the time. Guys, anytime you start making excuses for you to get comfortable is when the competition is going to blow right by you, right? And I want you to think of this from a standpoint of warfare. You start getting comfortable because you tag the guy a couple times and he's sitting there and he's a little woozy and you're like, I got this. I can take a moment to breathe. Fights are exhausting. Life can feel like a fight at times, especially if you're not properly resting and giving yourself the energy and the fuel and the sleep and everything else that you need. But I'll tell you this, the person that's willing to stay in this for a ongoing marathon, if you will, versus the person that's like, this is just a short sprint. I won, I've arrived, I've achieved. Guys, when you think that you've arrived and achieved is actually when you fail. That is true failure. It's about getting to the next level. And the next level in spiritual, emotional, physical, financial realms, if you will, is always becoming the next level that is greater for yourself. And that, I believe, is what the earth is about. I think that's part of it, is that we're here as a refinement. Our spirit is being burned of all the impurities that are in it, and we get to actually level up. And so when you want to have resistance to something, like, I don't want to push harder because it'll mess up me watching football games or some shit like that, that's actually the sign that you need to start pushing a lot harder. And that's how you crush it at everything in life. You never give up. You're going to meet people that try and get you to slow down. It's okay to spend time on a date night or, spend time with your woman if that's what you choose to do, but don't ever stop chasing your dreams. And somebody that tells you to, that same person, when you stop chasing, will start telling you how you're not providing for them and how you're just not driven. Like, they create the scenario and then find a way to demonize you so they can jam out because they're getting bored. You as a man, you never stop. You keep pushing. No matter what, you keep pushing. Why? Because when you crush complacency, you actually become the full version of who you were called to be as a man on this earth. Number 5, master the art of delayed gratification. If you want it all right now, you're never going to get anything worthwhile. That's one of the things that's really been hitting me a lot lately, is the waiting is when God's working. So that waiting period, you're like, God, why isn't this happening right now? Why isn't this person talking to me? Why isn't this happened or that happened? There's things that are being shaped in you right now as a man during this waiting period and during this working period that are helping you become what you need to be in order to get what you want. So there's a story about these men that are looking at men on the other side of the river. And they're standing over on this side and they're looking over there and they're like, man, look at those guys over there. They're so strong. The food over there must be so much better. That energy must be better. The women must be better. And all of that may be true, because now that they're strong enough to endure it, they can have better food. They can have better drinks. They can have better whatever. So one guy from this side says, you know what, I'm actually going to cross the river. I'm going to jump into the river and I'm going to go over there because I want to see how it is. And everybody's like, don't do it. The river's dangerous. It'll kill you. There's snakes in it. There's all these things in there. The guy does it anyway. He goes against what would be considered complacency, and he decides to step in. He risks it all at the risk of losing his life. He gets bitten by snakes, he hits rocks, he gets scraped, he gets scarred, and the other men on this side, they just see him getting drugged down the river. They don't understand that those same men on this side of the river are further down the river, but they never know because they only stay where they're at because it's safe, because it's a place of peace for them, and they talk about how he must have died. He finally crosses the river and gets over to the other side. And he makes his way to that other side and looks just like the men on the other side. Going through the river is what made him strong enough to get to the other side. The other side wasn't what was important. It's what he became in the flow of the river to get to the other side. And when he considered going back, he didn't want to because everybody over there was weak and unwilling. See, proximity is power. And when you get around a group of people that are strong, they stay around other people that are strong. Weakness stays around weakness. And if you think of fruit, I can't plant an apple seed and get a watermelon. You get what you plant. So when you're fear-based and you're driven by fear, you're going to get more of those fruits if you plant that seed. This is why it's so important to master the art of delayed gratification. Because when I do that, instead of thinking in my head, yeah, but then I'm going to be anxious about waiting. Guys, there's nothing wrong with waiting. Waiting is where the miracle is. God has a plan for you and you've got to lean into that and you've got to start believing it. And brothers, I know it's hard because I myself have dealt with it, right? Like where I sit down, I'm like, wait, I thought this was it. God, I thought this is what you wanted for me. But if God pulls something out of your life right then and there, there's a reason for it. And it doesn't mean that he may not bring it back later, but maybe he's removing it because the thing in your life isn't ready for you. And maybe you're not ready for it. And maybe there's work to be done. And that's why the waiting is so important, why you still work. You don't give up, you don't give in. You got to rest well, but you keep going. Because when we give up, it's done. You never give up. You never quit fighting. So in summation, what we went over today, in the 5 steps, this is what you need in order to conquer this limiting belief, in order to be dangerous. This is what you need. Number 1, admit when you don't know. That's how you gain the knowledge. That's how you grow. That's how you find out what is happening and you can move to the next level of your strength. Number 2, don't shy away from risks. Don't shy away from failure. That's how you learn. Again, it's data. And those that are willing to risk it all are oftentimes the most successful. Number 3, use gratitude as fuel. When we start training the reticular activating system, we can get to the next level of our growth by doing so. Number 4, crush complacency. Get out of the mindset of comfort. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what enables you as a man to level up and get to the next level. And finally, number 5, and this is perhaps one of the ones that is the hardest for us because we live in a culture of immediate gratification, is start to master the art of delayed gratification. So if you're ready to put this operating system in execution in your life, and you want a personalized plan just for you, what I want you to do is I want you to click on the link below to set up a call with my team, and they will show you how to do exactly that. And for those of you that are questioning, yes, this is the next step to becoming truly dangerous. Stay dangerous, gentlemen. We'll see you soon.